Hello everyone, and welcome to another underwater adventure. Today, we're going to meet one of the most mysterious, most intelligent, and most unbelievable animals in the ocean. It has no bones, 8 arms, blue blood, 3 hearts, and a brain unlike any other creature on Earth. Yes, we're talking about the amazing, the incredible octopus. Octopuses might look like aliens, but they live right here on our own planet, deep in the ocean. In fact, they're so unusual that scientists have studied them for years and are still discovering new things about them. So get comfortable, because we're about to explore a creature like no other. Let's start with the basics. The word octopus comes from Greek and means 8 feet. That's exactly what they have, 8 long arms covered in suckers. Each arm is strong, flexible, and smart. Yes. An octopus's arms can actually think for themselves. They don't just wait for instructions from the brain, they react on their own. It's like having 8 mini brains attached to your body. Now imagine this. You reach out for a snack, but your hand grabs it and eats it before your brain even tells it to. That's what an octopus's arms can do. Each arm has thousands of nerve endings, allowing it to taste, touch, and move independently. Scientists have even seen octopuses using one arm to distract a crab while another arm sneaks around to grab it. That's clever. Octopuses also have special suckers on their arms. And they're not just sticky, they're smart too. Each sucker can move, grip, and taste. Yes, taste. An octopus can tell what something is just by touching it. Can you imagine if you could taste your toys just by picking them up? That would be weird and kind of messy. Now let's talk about how octopuses move. They don't have bones, so they can squish their bodies into any shape they want. They can fit into bottles through tiny cracks, and even inside empty coconut shells. They often hide in small places to stay safe from predators like sharks, eels, and dolphins. And if hiding doesn't work, they have another trick: camouflage. Octopuses are masters of disguise. They can change their color, pattern, and even the texture of their skin in less than a second. This helps them blend in with rocks, coral, sand, or even seaweed. They can look smooth, bumpy, spotted, striped, or completely invisible. How do they do this? Their skin contains special cells called chromatophores, which are like tiny balloons filled with color. When the octopus moves its muscles, the cells stretch or squeeze, changing its appearance instantly. But wait, there's more. Some octopuses can even mimic other animals. There's one called the mimic octopus that can look like a sea snake, a lionfish, or a flatfish, depending on what predator it wants to scare away. It's like an ocean superhero with a costume for every occasion. Still not impressed? Then how about this? Octopuses can also shoot ink. When they're scared or in danger, they squirt out a big cloud of dark ink. This confuses their enemies and gives them a chance to escape. The ink doesn't just block vision, it also smells bad to some predators. And if things get really bad, the octopus has one more trick. It can detach one of its arms. Yep, just let it go. The arm wiggles and distracts the predator, while the octopus swims away to safety. And later, that missing arm grows back. Good as new. Now let's dive a little deeper, not into the ocean, but into the octopus's body. The octopus has 3 hearts. 2 of them pump blood to the gills, so it can collect oxygen from the water. The 3rd heart pumps the oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. But here's the twist. When the octopus swims quickly, that 3rd heart stops beating. That's why octopuses prefer to crawl rather than swim. It's less tiring. And speaking of blood, octopus blood isn't red like ours, it's blue. That's because their blood contains a special chemical called hemocyanin, which helps carry oxygen in cold and low oxygen water. So when you see an octopus, you're looking at a real blue-blooded ocean creature. Let's move on to the brain. Octopuses are some of the smartest animals in the ocean. They can solve puzzles, open jars, and even escape from aquariums. There are stories of octopuses sneaking out of their tanks at night to steal fish from other tanks, and then returning before anyone notices. In the wild, they use their brains to hunt, hide, and survive. They can remember things, learn from experience, and even recognize individual people. Some scientists believe octopuses have short and long-term memory, just like humans. They are also curious. They explore their environment and play with objects like bottles, shells, and even Lego bricks. But for all their cleverness, octopuses are also shy and quiet. They spend most of their time alone, hiding in dens or burrows. They don't form families or live in groups like dolphins or whales. In fact, most octopuses only meet when it's time to mate. And that brings us to one of the most touching and sad facts about octopuses. When a female lays her eggs, she stops everything else. She doesn't eat. She doesn't leave her den. She spends weeks or even months protecting and cleaning her eggs until they hatch. And then she dies. It's a heartbreaking sacrifice, but it's also one of the most loving acts in nature. The babies hatch by the thousands and float up to the surface. They are tiny, smaller than a pea, and must survive on their own from day one. Very few of them make it to adulthood, but the cycle continues. Octopuses live short lives, some only a year or two. But in that short time, they show us what nature is capable of. Intelligence, creativity, survival, and a little bit of magic. Let's see what you remember. How many arms does an octopus have? How many hearts? What color is its blood? Can it change shape? What trick does it use to escape predators? If you answered any of those, give yourself a big high five, or 8 of them, like an octopus. The octopus is truly one of Earth's most incredible creatures. It's smart, flexible, powerful, and full of surprises. Next time you visit an aquarium, take a moment to watch it carefully. Look at the way it moves, the way it hides, the way it thinks. You'll see that there's a lot more going on under the surface, and not just in the water. Thanks for joining me on this deep-sea adventure. Stay curious, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time for another wild and wonderful journey through the animal kingdom.